Hi, um, my name is Robert, and I'm 33 years old. I'm from Virginia. Right now, I'm in Pennsylvania at a treatment facility. Um, Forgive my bandages. I'm having a mole removed while I'm here. Um, my therapist thought it'd be a good idea for me to do kind of an online diary um, to just get everything out that I've been going through. Um, my story starts, and again, forgive me if I haven't shaved or anything. That's part of my story is where I just completely let myself go. Um, I guess my story starts about a year ago. Um, I was married, and the marriage was falling apart. It had reached its peak, and we both kind of knew it, but no one really wanted to say anything. Uh, I come home one day, and I was going to tell her that day that if she wanted to leave, she could. And I come home one day, and I found a note on the table saying that she didn't want to be with me anymore. She left. Um, she packed up all of her stuff, left her wedding dress hanging, and was gone. Compared me to a lot of things, like I was some horrible husband, which I was not perfect. Okay, a man has to admit his mistakes, and I'll be the first one to admit I made mine. But I didn't. I wasn't as horrible as she said I was. So I came home, and about we had already been legally separated, and about 2 to 3 months into it, I met someone named Angela. She was everything I ever wanted in a woman. She she was beautiful. She was smart. She was funny, sexy, all that rolled into one. And I remember the day we met online, and I remember the first day I saw her, and I was like, holy cow. And so we dated for a while. Keep in mind, during this time, I didn't have a job. I just moved back home recently. I was still looking. I had nothing. We fell in love within a month. It was fast because we spent a lot of time together. That could have been part of the problem. Time went on. She got really cold and distant. Like she was just not into it after a while, and that all happened after New Year's. We had gotten intimate, and after that, she was just not into it anymore. She was just like cold, distant, and she would begin to pick me apart. All my flaws, you're overweight, lose weight, you don't dress right, you don't do this, you don't do that. It had gotten to a point where I was just like, God, why are you with me then? Later on, I found out she did this as a lesson, and I don't really understand that, but okay. So I broke up with her. I called her up, and I'm like, look, this isn't gonna work. So a couple months went down the road. Around Super Bowl time, she texted me, said she missed me and didn't want to be alone during the Super Bowl. So we went to B-Dubs in Roanoke, and we watched the Super Bowl. We kissed. So she said she wasn't going to do it, but she couldn't help herself. Um, so we tried to get back together. And she wanted to date other guys plus me. So we stopped talking for a little while longer. And then around Valentine's Day, again, same thing. I get a text, "Hey, I miss you. I'm alone for I'm going to be alone for Valentine's Day. What are you doing?" So we made these plans, and we had gotten back together at that point. You know, I love you. I missed you. I'm never, I'm never going to find anyone like you. All that jazz. About a week before Valentine's Day, I would say Tuesday or Wednesday, she went out with some friends. One friend in particular, who is probably the cause of why I'm doing this today. She went out with a friend, and next thing I know, she is not talking to me. She wouldn't answer my calls. She wouldn't respond to my texts. I was like, "Are we still on for Valentine's Day?" I spent my Valentine's Day last year at a Chinese buffet in Blacksburg, Virginia, crying my eyes out because I wondered what I did wrong. Why? You know, why did she do this again? Then that night I saw where she had this fabulous time with someone on Facebook. Come to find out, that guy was a jerk. He ended up throwing her stuff. She moved in with him after 2 weeks, and he threw her stuff out. Karma. So we got back together again after she left this jerk, or after this jerk dumped her. Said that she kept thinking about how I would do things and how no guy was really like me. And so same thing again. We dated we dated for a few weeks, and then she met some other loser. This time it was different. She wanted, and this time she didn't even say goodbye again. She was just gone. And then I think it happened once again. One other time. I'm trying to make a long story short. She sent me a text one night that she had gotten in trouble and needed my help, and I was the only one that could help her. I'm not going to say what it was, but she made a mistake with someone. And I helped her. I went and got her what she needed, rented a hotel room, and I took care of her because that's what I wanted to do. I'm sorry. The next day we went to the lake, had an awesome time, and we were good again for about a week, and then she left for another loser. While she was dating that loser, she wanted to hang out with me, and she cheated on that guy with me. And then again she left. I got her a promise ring. Took her to the beach. On the way there, she started acting weird. She was constantly on her phone. Any time right before I knew she was going to jet, she was always on her phone. She was talking to a guy the whole weekend. She claims she wasn't, but I know good and well she was. No one gets notifications on their phone at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, and then she's trying to be sneaky about it and trying to respond to them. I even come out of the shower and I caught her outside in the parking lot talking to someone on her phone, and when I asked who, she said her mom, and I'm like, why did you feel like you had to do that? You could have talked to your mom in the hotel. Why did you feel like you needed to go outside? And she was always like, well, I need my privacy. So I gave her the promise ring. She kept acting real cold and distant. I mean, there was nothing I could do to please this woman during that time. Nothing. She would get mad because I didn't have enough money. She would want things. And, again, I just couldn't afford them. I afforded what I could. So I got tired of it that Sunday, and I told her to pack her stuff. We're going. We're leaving. Because if we didn't, we were going to run out of gas, and I didn't have money for gas. So when I got back to her house, she got out everything that she owned out of her car, and she left. Never heard from her again until about 2 or 3 weeks later. She was dating some loser. There's a pattern here, obviously. She wanted to hang out with me while she was dating him. And I was dumb enough to do it. And I convinced her to leave him this time. And we got back together. And got back together in October. October was awesome. The end of October towards the middle of November was amazing. She was head over heels. Couldn't be happier. Then after November, the wheels started falling off again. After Thanksgiving. She would get real cold and distant. And moody. She would just say things to me that she'd never say to someone you love. She'd just get in these moods where she wasn't affectionate. She was cold. But she would always come around the time when maybe something was coming up. So, around Christmas time, I didn't buy my family anything for Christmas. I focused all on hers. I took every dime I had to get her things for Christmas and her family things for Christmas. I didn't buy my family anything. Wasn't good enough the look on her face on Christmas Day, she wasn't very happy. I even actually said, I feel like I didn't get you anything, and her mom took that as I was trying to buy her. It was so stupid. She would constantly say, well, I want this, and I want that. And I'm the type of guy who wants to do things to make someone happy. I don't ever ask anything in return. All I ever asked from her was for her to love me. And that's all she ever had to do. So she wanted alone time to herself. She wanted a weekend to herself because we spent every weekend together. And I was okay with that. What I wasn't okay with was the fact that all of a sudden she blocked me on Facebook. Just completely blocked me. No, we had an argument, we had gotten into an argument over the phone. She's like, I just need my space, okay? And I'm like, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. She got real defensive when I said, if you want time to yourself, that's fine. And I worded it the way that any guy would. Just don't go out there and do something you shouldn't be doing. In other words, going out with other guys. So you have to understand something. Before all this, I had already bought her engagement ring.